Slick.
Wait till that start hitting that body.
Yeah.
Alvarez hit
different.
that body.
Look how slick. Mike, look how slick he is.
Oh, he's gonna get
in August of 2024 against Israel Madrimov to make him a 4-division champion. That's it. That's all. He hasn't fought since then.
Look, with Crawford, I think gaining too much weight and too much muscle might affect them. If they're thinking of surviving and being able to take a punch and being able to go rounds.
Mike Tyson issued a stark warning to Terence Crawford after joining Canelo Alvarez at a recent press conference. Tyson stated that Crawford is far too small to compete with Canelo and believes there is no realistic scenario in which Crawford could win against the Mexican champion. According to Tyson, this is a matchup fans aren't particularly excited to see, adding a sharp edge to the pre-fight discussion and fueling debate about whether the bout should even happen.
That Terence Crawford is simply too small and doesn't have a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez. I am Mike Tyson. He says that this is a fight that nobody calls for. It's just simply too much of a size difference. Shannon Briggs is the believer in styles make fights, skill set, and the skill set of Canelo Alvarez versus the skill set of Terence Crawford favors the skill set of Terence Crawford, not only just to win, but to possibly stop Canelo Alvarez for the first time in his career. Now, Canelo Alvarez is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Terence Crawford is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Terence Crawford is 4-division champion, undefeated, 2-division undisputed champion. Canelo Alvarez is a 4-division champion, 2-time undisputed super middleweight champion, and reigning undisputed super middleweight world champion with a record of 63 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout.
Veteran boxer Gabe Rosado weighed in on the potential showdown, expressing doubts about Crawford's ability to hurt Canelo. While acknowledging Crawford's technical skills, footwork, and precision, Rosado emphasized that Canelo's strength and physicality present a major obstacle. He pointed out that Canelo has absorbed shots from some of boxing's hardest punchers without faltering, raising serious questions about whether Crawford can inflict real damage. For Rosado, the disparity in size and durability is a key challenge Crawford would have to overcome.
So I don't see how Crawford could hurt Canelo, because Canelo's been in there with Kovalev. He's been in there with Bivol. You know what I'm saying? He's been in there with big punchers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how can a guy that's really a 47-pounder, even though he's up in weight, I don't see how he can hurt Canelo. You know what I'm saying? It just feels completely, because your body is different to absorbing a bigger blow. So, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, when I sparred the guys in the lower weight classes and they hit me, bro, it's like, no disrespect, but it just feels like you get hit with a pillow. It's just different. It could be a murderous puncher at 147, but if I'm walking around 185 and I'm a solid guy and I'm used to fighting guys, you know, with a different kind of power, and I spar a guy that's a welterweight, it feels like a pillow.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult shared a clear and direct opinion. He doesn't believe Terence Crawford can defeat Canelo Alvarez. His reasoning centers around size, strength, and stylistic mismatches. Showbiz explained that Canelo's experience across multiple weight classes has developed a skill set specifically designed to neutralize fighters like Crawford. While he praised Crawford's versatility and high ring IQ, he argued that those traits alone aren't enough to overcome Canelo's power and control. In his view, the odds heavily favor Canelo. Crawford would need something extraordinary to change that outcome.
Spaceman Films. What up, Biz? Who you got? Canelo Crawford.
Yeah.
Got Canelo. I heard the punches that he hit Charlo with. I don't know if Crawford can absorb those punches. I know he's a great man and a great warrior. But you come from 147 to put on a better fight than Charlo. I mean, I don't even know what that means. I don't know if that means that Crawford is so great and he can do that, or that means that Charlo set the bar so damn low that anybody could do better than Charlo did last night.
Do skill really pay the bill? Because that would be tested.
Pay the bill. That's why Canelo's skillful too.
Renowned trainer Robert Garcia voiced concern over Crawford's decision to bulk up for the fight. He cautioned that rapid weight gain could negatively affect Crawford's speed, stamina, and sharpness, key advantages in the ring. Garcia also addressed comparisons between Crawford and Floyd Mayweather, calling them misleading. He explained that Mayweather never put on excessive weight to face larger opponents. Instead, his success came from superior speed and technique. Garcia warned that competing at a significantly higher weight could hinder Crawford before the first punch is thrown.
Look, with Crawford, I think gaining too much weight and too much muscle might affect them. If they're thinking of surviving and being able to take a punch and being able to go rounds, then they're trying to maybe go the distance, and they'll be happy with that. But I think Crawford's natural talent, Mayweather had it. You know, you guys were just mentioning right now that he doesn't. Crawford, Mayweather never needed to gain weight and never needed to be heavy to be able to beat those bigger guys. I think Crawford's skills. We give Crawford a chance because we know how good he is, how his skills, his speed, his combinations. But if he's gaining so much weight, he might not be able to do those. He might not be able to have those same skills when it comes to his speed, his footwork because of the weight. So we'll see. I just hope he's not just training and getting big to survive and go the distance, because maybe that's a win for him. Maybe he's thinking, if I go the distance with him, that's a big win for me. So I just hope not. I expect Crawford to actually pull up some runs and maybe even pull up the fight. But if he's too heavy, too big, he's gonna get hit, and he's gonna have to exchange punches, and that's where the danger comes in.
Gary Antuan offered high praise for Canelo Alvarez, calling him a master of his own style. He described Canelo as a fighter who fully understands and maximizes his strengths in every bout. Antuan believes Crawford won't be able to take away what Canelo has spent years perfecting: defensive movement, well-timed counters, and punishing body shots. Although he acknowledged Crawford's adaptability and intelligence, Antuan stressed that Canelo's confidence and ring efficiency make him incredibly difficult to disrupt.
Canelo, he has mastered his style. Now, typically, Latinos, they got their own style versus melanated black people. Having like more rhythm, more flashiness and panache to their stuff, more swag.
Yeah.
We just fight different than other ethnicities. If you want to throw Amir Khan in there, his ethnicity, he was in and out.
Yeah, that's the European kind of style.
Textbook, you know, but that was his style. Canelo got his style and he mastered it. Terence Crawford cannot take nothing away from him. He's like freakishly good, he go both sides, southpaw, orthodox, and I feel like he adapt well. But it don't take much to get hit, especially these little 8-ounce gloves. He cannot slip up. He cannot slip up. He's gonna have to stay set from bing to bing from round 1 to 12, and he better be in shape. Yeah. I'm talking about like not 12-round shape. I'm talking about like 16-round shape.
Former world champion Chris Algieri gave insight into the physical challenges of moving up in weight. He explained that gaining size affects a fighter's timing, movement, and endurance. Algieri noted that while Crawford may appear bigger on fight night, the added weight doesn't necessarily translate into more power. Fighting at an unfamiliar weight class can be tricky, especially against someone like Canelo, who is fully comfortable at that level. Algieri warned that the adjustment could affect Crawford's performance, particularly in the later rounds when stamina becomes crucial.
Alvarez. So that's another aspect of that comparison. And yes, exactly what the champ said, exactly what Abel Sanchez said. You're going to put on weight. You're going to be a different fighter. And I can say this even as a fighter as myself. As I've gotten heavier in my retirement, and I try and move around the gym, it just feels different. And even when you start camp, you feel different in the beginning than you do at the end. But listen, we're still 4 or 5 weeks away. I don't know exactly what Terence is weighing right now. And even if he does say what he weighs, man, he's gone out there and said he's weighed, all types of crazy numbers just to get media to respond. So it's really not really going to know until the fight and we see these guys next to each other. He might look bigger right now, but he might not be that heavy. He might still be in the range that these guys are targeting for the fight itself. But I will say this, if you look at it historically, Floyd Mayweather, when he fought Canelo Alvarez, Floyd was 36 years old. Canelo was a young man. I think he was 21 or something like that, or 23, under 23, whatever the case may be. Floyd came in how Floyd always comes in. He didn't try to put on weight for that fight. I think he came in 150 pounds, like he always did in his big fights, and even at 36 years old. And it was his speed, it was his technical proficiency, it was his skill and his jab, which is what gave Canelo fits all night long and eventually why he lost 11 rounds to 1. So I don't know that Crawford really needs to be packing on this muscle. And I have actually argued in my own head. I'm like, yeah, but he's older. He's not Floyd. Floyd was 36 when they fought.
A boxing analyst delivered a strong stance. Canelo Alvarez will not lose to Terence Crawford. The logic was straightforward. Crawford lacks the power to make Canelo respect him, turning the fight into a steep uphill battle. The analyst questioned Crawford's ability to endure Canelo's heavy shots for 12 rounds, pointing to the size and strength difference. With Canelo's proven chin, range control, and physical dominance, the analyst believes Crawford would struggle to mount a consistent offense.
54-pound division, the undefeated phenom. He said that he sparred Canelo Alvarez, and he hit Canelo Alvarez with his best shot. His best shot. This is a power puncher. Yeah, he's smaller than Canelo Alvarez, but let me further explain. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing. Nothing. And some of y'all gonna be like, but yo, that's Virgil Ortiz, he's smaller. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing with Triple G. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing versus Kovalev. Kovalev killed the man in the ring. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing with Danny Jacobs. Canelo Alvarez wasn't even demoralized by Dimitri Bivol. He just got outboxed. He didn't hurt Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez, you see how he say Iron Mike Tyson? Well, Canelo Alvarez has an iron chin. Terence Crawford, and also, put it this way, also, after the fight with Jamel Charlo and Canelo Alvarez, and I spoke to Jamel Charlo. Jamel Charlo basically said that, yo, Canelo Alvarez couldn't feel my punches. I hit Canelo Alvarez with 2 left hook and he didn't even feel nothing. Jamel Charlo was Iron Man Jamel Charlo, the 154-pound undisputed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's not active right now, but we all know he was an undisputed, a knockout artist that got all his belt by knocking out every opponent to become undisputed, ladies and gentlemen. Canelo Alvarez has gotten hit with the most devastating punches in his generation, 175 and 160. Fought the likes of Kirkland that was known for power.
Former boxer and commentator Willie D offered a detailed breakdown. He highlighted that Canelo is younger than Crawford, a factor that can be pivotal in boxing. Additionally, Canelo's height advantage could allow him to control range and set the pace. Willie D emphasized that age and size aren't just numbers, they impact reflexes, recovery, and durability. His assessment painted a picture of multiple layers of disadvantages Crawford would face, even before considering skill.
It's 34, Bud is 37. So you give that edge to Canelo, because in boxing, youth is a commodity. Height. Canelo is 5 feet 7.5 inches tall. Terence Crawford is 5 feet 8 inches tall. So you give the slight edge to Terence Crawford right there. The reach. Canelo is 70.5 inches tall. Terence Crawford is 74 inches tall, which gives him an almost 4-inch reach advantage. Their weight, Canelo is a middleweight and Bud is a lightweight middleweight. Records. Canelo is 63-2-2, 39 knockouts. Bud is 41-0. with 31 knockouts. Canelo's last fight was a victory over William Skull. It was a unanimous decision on May 3rd, 2025. Bud last entered the ring on August 3rd, 2024, where he defeated Israel Madrimov.
John Ryder, who has shared the ring with Canelo, gave a candid analysis based on first-hand experience. He described Canelo's style as relentless but calculated, slowly wearing down opponents physically and mentally. Ryder emphasized that it's not just Canelo's power, but his ability to maintain pace and control the rhythm that breaks fighters. He expressed doubt that even Crawford's sharp technique and strong will could withstand that sustained pressure over 12 rounds. According to Ryder, Canelo's mix of physicality, strategy, and championship experience could prove overwhelming.
I think you just got to watch the Bivol blueprint, the in and out. I mean, a lot of fighters getting stick now for being runners, Tom and Jerry and whatnot. But stick to what you're good at. Terence Crawford is an exceptional talent. He's won titles through the weights, undisputed at, was it 3 weights now? And listen, if anyone can do it, it's him. I think the weight will be too much of an issue. Canelo is a special talent, and I think the weight will play a factor in the fight. But listen, Canelo once done it and made the step up to super middleweight. I would like Crawford to be more at light middle and middle to build into it, but you take these opportunities when they come, and that's what greatness is, chasing it.
Yeah, and I've heard that before. Like some people said if you see him at 154, he fought a Madrimov, and you saw how much he got touched. Obviously, it's 2 different fighters, but why do you think he should probably? You think he should have probably taken another fight, maybe at 160 or maybe another one at 168?
He needs to build into it a bit. I think the fight with Madrimov was his first fight at
154.
At 154, and listen, he's still developing and growing into that weight. He could have done with a couple more there, then moved up to 160, but it's all being done as a bit of a rush. So he's not going to be fully. He's not going to have time to put the muscle on to build into the weight, and he's obviously going to do it with the intention of getting back down to 154 and taking on other challenges. So it's not a long-term goal for him to stay there, but like I say, Terence Crawford is an exceptional talent. I remember watching him beat a good friend of mine, Ricky Burns, and it's like since that day I was just, my ears pricked up and I took notice, and every time Terence Crawford boxed, I watched.
Coach Anthony offered a more balanced view. While he acknowledged that Canelo is naturally bigger and more seasoned at higher weights, he warned against underestimating Crawford. He praised Crawford's ring IQ, adaptability, and ability to switch stances, traits that could pose unique challenges. Coach Anthony argued that while Canelo has faced great opponents, Crawford's timing, footwork, and killer instinct make him a real threat. Ignoring Crawford's skill set, he said, would be a mistake.
Okay, but we have to break some things down into perspective here. First and foremost, Terence Crawford is a very strong 147 pounder. He's not a regular guy. He's not a regular 147 pounder. Another thing is, he's an extremely determined fighter. That guy's a winner. He's cut from the same cloth as the Andre Wards, the Floyd Mayweathers. You only get certain fighters that come across in a decade that have that kind of aura and that kind of determination to win. Now, if we want to break it down fundamentally, don't get me wrong. Canelo is a strong fighter. He's proven himself. He got a great chin. He's fought some of the best fighters that you can ask for. But he's not that much bigger if you ask me. They're about the same size and height. Now, don't get me wrong. He's a little bit wider. He's a little bit, thicker, right? Like, as far as his frame goes. But we got to be honest here, man. He's not that. It's not like we're fighting Benavidez here, okay? We're fighting a guy that he can still get his jab off. He can still use his footwork. He can still use his defense to go ahead and evade some of these punches. You know what I mean? So for me, Terence Crawford is going to be, if Canelo goes in there and underestimates Crawford's strength, that could be a mistake, okay? It only takes a few pounds of pressure to hurt a guy. You don't need to be that big of a guy to hurt a guy. So, at the end of the day, Crawford is a threat as well if Canelo goes in there and overestimates his weight and his size. I've seen bigger guys get knocked out by smaller guys in the gym all the time with headgear on and 16-ounce gloves. So we have to just take a few things into account when it comes to that.
Now it's your turn. Who do you think wins this legendary matchup, Crawford or Canelo? Drop your predictions in the comments below.